I want to talk briefly about my professional development classes, videos on artificial intelligence or AI, and how these professional development trainings have helped me work with students. My point of view on AI is like anything, um, it's a tool. Um, just like the internet in the 90s, calculators in the 80s. It's a tool like anything else, and there are appropriate uses for the tool, and there's inappropriate uses for the tool. The second principle I go on is we are human beings. We should never turn our thinking, our decisions, our humanity, our consciousness, morals, humanity, spirituality over to a machine, be it a computer or AI or a robot. Um, it's a science. It's a very common science fiction trope where science fiction authors and movie makers have dealt with this idea of what happens when human beings turn themselves over to AI or robots or machines. Also, what happens when our morality, sorry, or what happens when our technology, our technological advancement outstrips our morality or ability to develop some type of moral framework. And so, uh, the Borg in Star Trek, the robots in Terminator, the Matrix movies, Cylons and Battlestar Galactica. Um, Common theme in science fiction, and science fiction is a cultural reflection of what human beings are doing in technology and advancing, science. Um, and so those are the two principles I personally go on. Um, AI is a tool like anything else, and there's appropriate uses and inappropriate uses of that tool. And two, we should always keep our humanity. Shouldn't turn ourselves over to machines, basically, or not basically, just do that. And so, when I approach AI or any technology, I discuss that with my students. And if you notice from all my certificates, I'm a history teacher, but I want to learn about HR. I want to learn about AI. Sorry. And so if you look at my list here, I I wanted to learn about AI. And so, for example, streamlining admissions with AI. I'm not in admissions, but how is AI used there? AI innovation in HR. So I sought to have a broad view of how is artificial intelligence affecting our world? How is it affecting different parts of the college and different businesses? And so when you see here, you see this large, long list of what I have developed and worked on. So I'm trying to have an understanding of AI and how it works, and also how to work with my students on it. Specific things with my students. Number one, I have a syllabus policy where I discuss it. Um, I discuss there's inappropriate and appropriate uses of AI. An appropriate use of AI, you take your notes, type them in or upload them to a program, and ask, hey, create a quiz based on my notes. That's an appropriate use of that. You're having it, an appropriate use. I'm studying topic A. I'm interested in different interpretations of topic A. So you ask the program, you have, and that's the thing, you don't just ask, you have a conversation with AI. Like, what is this? What is that? You ask questions. It's a conversation. And don't, number one is not, you don't treat AI like a search engine. like Google. When you work with AI, it's a conversation. AI is not always correct. AI is sometimes wrong. And on AI, sometimes based on the biases of the creators of the LLM, you know, AI, has its own biases. And so I work with students on that. I discuss that with students. What are appropriate uses? What are inappropriate uses? Inappropriate uses, like I just said, just treat it like an AI. What does this mean? Or what's this? You have to have a conversation with it. You have a conversation. What about this? What about that? And I've had, AI will tell you one thing and you question it. Well, okay, it's something else maybe. But that leads to other issues with AI, is that it's kind of geared towards telling you what you want to hear sometimes. It kind of moves towards that. And so, like for inappropriate uses, I tell my students, well, you wouldn't go, what is the answer to this question in an essay? Or please write my essay. That would be an inappropriate use, right? And so I talk with students and I model for them what's inappropriate use of AI. And so, going through this, I looked at all kinds of different aspects of artificial intelligence and how it's affecting our world, and how can we work with students to help them, use the tool appropriately. And so hopefully I demonstrate that in the classroom as I work with students, and just dealing with the technology. It's here, and it's probably going to stay, and so we can work with that and help students help enhance our education, but not turn our thinking over to it. AI should not be your thinking; it shouldn't do it for you, kind of a thing completely. And you work with it. It should be a partner working with you to create something that you want. You want, not what AI wants.